Hey everyone, welcome back to another Mattel Jurassic World review. Today we're taking a look at the new Dinoscape Scorpios Rex Danger Pack. I was really excited when this set was first revealed for two reasons. First, we're getting another Camp Cretaceous camper figure in Kenji. I can't believe we went through 3 seasons of the show and the only figure we had was Darius and the other was the Gyrosphere. A lot of people want the Gyrosphere toy. You know, that story pack with Claire that came back out when Fallen Kingdom came out commands a pretty good price on the secondary market. So I was really excited to see a Gyrosphere included with the set until I realized it was a single-person Gyrosphere. Don't remember ever seeing a single-person Gyrosphere in the series, so that was really, really disappointing. Mattel could have done something great and introduced the two-person Gyrosphere back into the line because a lot of people are looking for that. But I guess it is what it is. I'm sure we're going to get the two-person Gyrosphere somewhere in the near future. I don't know when, but you know it's going to come back. It's just really disappointing it did not come back in this set. And obviously the other main draw of this set is the Scorpios Rex. There's actually 2 versions of this figure. I was really surprised when they announced this one. I just thought we had to buy 2 of the larger one, you know, because there's no spoiler alert if you watch the series. There's 2 of them, but it's cool that they made a smaller version without the action features. And I have to say, I like this one a lot better than the bigger one because it has articulation. It's not hampered by its action features, and it's a pretty good looking sculpt. Now, I ended up finding this set at Target. It retails for $29.99, and you get a lot for $30. You're getting this really nice articulated dinosaur figure. You're, of course, getting Kenji and the Gyrosphere. So, all in all, a pretty good package deal for that price. Now, I'm not entirely sure about this, but I think this set is exclusive to Target. If I'm wrong, please let me know down in the comments. I've only seen this listed on Target's site, but I'll leave a link in the description to Target's site if you want to order this figure online or test your luck at the stores. When I went today, they had 5 of these on the shelves, so hopefully this set can be pretty easy for people to pick up. So let's just go over the packaging really quick before we crack this set open. Comes in the Dinoscape style packaging. Got the logo down here with a picture of Darius. You got Toro the Carnotaurus behind the Scorpio Rex tail. Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous logo up there. Netflix logo up here. And then behind this figure you have the destroyed paddock fences, which is the new theme for the Dinoscape packaging. And then turn this figure around. You have a product shot of the Scorpios Rex, Kenji, and the single-person Gyrosphere. And then down here in the corner is the Target exclusive Raptor Squad pack. I will not be picking this set up. You know, how many times Mattel are going to do the Raptor Squad over and over again? And I'm satisfied with my Savage Strike versions. And, you know, if I see the set on the shelves, it is definitely sitting on the shelves. I just believe that set is not going to sell well. We're kind of, you know, sick of the 8 million Raptors Mattel keeps putting out. But hey, if you like the Raptor set, go ahead, pick it up. I'm just giving you my opinion. So enough about the packaging. Let's crack this set open and take a closer look. So let's start with this 360-degree view of this set. I'm being honest here, I initially was not going to pick up any of the Scorpios Rex figures. That is because I did appreciate the design. It's meant to be like ugly and terrifying. I just did not like how it was in the show. It did provide some awesome horror elements. And, you know, this thing's running around one-shotting dinosaurs all over the island, but every time it encountered the kids, it just became a bumbling fool. You know, the plot armor surrounding the kids was pretty strong. Yes, I get it's a kid's show, and you can't have kids getting ripped apart by dinosaurs, but it just was really frustrating to see this thing, like, just, you know, plowing through any animal it encountered. But once it met up with the kids, it was just, you know, completely stupid. So that kind of turned me off to it. But, you know, once I saw this figure in hand, plus I'm a huge fan of the Camp Cretaceous series, so I had to get the Scorpios Rex to complete my display. But when I saw this figure in store and I saw the extra articulation on it, I had to pick it up, and I'm glad I did. Kenji turned out fantastic. He looks just like his CJ model, and I'm so happy that we're getting more campers in the series. Gyrosphere works great. I just wish it was the 2-seated one because a lot of people would like that. And I really like the Scorpios Rex, that extra articulation on it. I like how it's a different color and smaller because, you know, spoiler alert, Scorpios Rex reproduce asexually in the show, and this one is meant to represent the sub-adult. So yeah, I'm really, really enjoying this set way more than I thought I would. So let's just do a couple quick measurements on the Scorpios Rex. This figure is 13 inches long from the tip of the snout to the tip of the tail, and just about 5.5 inches tall. So this figure represents the sub-adult in the series, which is estimated to be around 20 feet long. So with those measurements, I'll put this figure in the 1/18 scale range. So let's first take a look at Kenji. I think this figure turned out absolutely fantastic. It looks just like his CGI model. It's about time we start getting more figures of the campers in this line. And let's zoom in and take a look at that head sculpt. Really well done. You can see the hair is nicely sculpted. I do have a little bit of a blemish right there on the side of his head, but I can easily take care of that. But his face is painted really nicely. His bright blue shirt with the white stripes is also nicely done. Here it is from the back, and then going down to his pants, you can see he has his khaki shorts and his bright red sneakers with white shoelaces. Now for articulation, his head is on a ball joint. You can turn side to side. You do get a little bit of upwards movement and a tiny bit of downwards movement. Can rotate 360 degrees. Can move outwards. You get a bend at the elbow to get 90 degrees, and that's also on a joint that can rotate 360 degrees. He does have waist rotation. At the legs, he can do the splits. Legs can move forwards that far, and that's about it. Before it hits the back of the figure, you don't get really any backwards movement. His knee, you get 90 degrees at the knee, and that's also on a joint, and that can rotate side to side. And here is Kenji with Darius. And I have to say, Kenji looks so much better than Darius. This is the first Darius figure that came out in that Camp Cretaceous set with the Baryonyx and Stegosaurus months ago. I know we're getting like 3 more Darius releases. He's becoming the new Owen of the series. And I haven't paid attention if they resculpted his head because, comparing this figure to the CGI model in the show, it really doesn't look like him. Like Kenji's pretty much spot on. So it'll be interesting to see if they go back and resculpt the head. Like I said, I really haven't taken a look at those figures because I really didn't need another Darius figure. But if they upgrade the head, I will definitely be picking one up. And next up is the single-person Gyrosphere. All in all, a pretty neat little vehicle figure. The Gyrosphere feature works really, really well. You can see as I'm rotating it, the seat doesn't go anywhere. That's because there is a weight on the bottom of the seat. And then right here, let's turn it to the front. There's a little latch right here that allows this to pop open, unlike the older Gyrosphere, which I still think is the better vehicle because you can fit 2 figures in it. You don't have to split it in half, and I think this works much better. And then inside, let's keep the top of it open. Inside, you can see the seat is nicely sculpted. You got 2 joysticks for controlling it. You have a clip to hold your figure into place. You have some sculpted detail along the side. These should be, I think, painted gray, just like it was in the movie, but it's fine to see through. And then turn on the other side, you can see more of that sculpted in detail. So yeah, all in all, a neat little vehicle that works really, really well. Hopefully they re-release the 2-seated one because I know a lot of people want to see that. And then let's just pop Kenji in. You just need to get him seated with his legs out, put his hands down, and there you go. Kenji can control the Gyrosphere. And here's a comparison with the original 2-person Gyrosphere that came with the clear story pack. You can see the older one is like twice the size of this new one, obviously because it holds 2 figures, but they're pretty similar in sculpt and detail. You do have a little bit more on the 2-person one, like those rails on the side are actually painted in and colored. They're clear on this one, but the feature works just the same between both figures. And I would just love if this one was re-released instead, especially because I would like to see it without the cracked glass on the bottom. But hey, it is what it is. Hopefully in the future Mattel will re-release this one. And lastly, let's take a closer look at the Scorpios Rex, a nicely sculpted figure. It resembles the creature that appeared in Camp Cretaceous. It's missing all those spikes and quills throughout its body. I kind of wish Mattel pulled that off. It does have them on the tail and the forearms, but it really needed some on the head right here to complete the look. I just wish they kind of went the extra mile on there. But other than that, it does look pretty decent, like a horrible, ugly, monstrous hybrid, which is what the Scorpios Rex was meant to be. You can see all this gnarly looking sculpting for its really short looking face. The teeth are nicely painted in. The bottom jaw has all those really funky looking teeth like spreading out to the side. You can see the tongue is painted a pink color. The eye is painted bright red with a black pupil. You can see all those different variant scales on the side of the head. Even the lower jaw has some really nice scale detail on it. And let's turn it over from the top. You can see how wide the head is on this figure. There's some nice large scales going down the middle of its neck and all the way down to about the 3/4 point of the tail. And then going down to the arms are really long and muscular looking. Some nice scale detail on there. Arms and claws are nicely sculpted. You can see some of the quills on the forearms. Fortunately, the hand claws are not painted in, which really isn't too big of a deal on this figure because it's really a dark green, and they probably just would have been painted black, so it's not super noticeable. And then going down to the body, the shape of the body on this figure is really funky looking. It's just like the chest just caves in and protrudes out over here. So yeah, really, really bizarre looking animal. You got some really large osteoderms along the side. Same thing on the thighs of the hind legs. You got a spike coming out right here on the shin. And then go down the feet. You have those very raptor looking feet with the killing claw. Kind of wish those were painted in. I think that would make the figure look a little bit better. And turn the figure over, you can see the underside is painted a mustard yellow color, and that paint stops just around the base of the tail. And since we have the figure turned over, here is the scan code for those of you who want to scan that into the fax app. And then going down to the tail, man, my camera does not like focusing in on this figure. You can see the tail is nicely sculpted. These are some soft, flexible quills at the end of the tail, and since the end of the tail is made of rubber, it's like a slightly different green than this hard plastic part of the tail, so that's a little bit distraction. It's kind of tough the color match when using two different types of plastic, so that is forgivable. So yeah, pretty cool looking figure. Like I said, I like this one a little bit better than the electronic one. Now for articulation, this is where this figure really shines. The jaw can close completely flush and open up that wide. At the neck right here, figure can look up, it could look down, and you can rotate it from side to side. Actually, you can go 360 degrees on that joint. Going down to the arms can swing out pretty far. They can rotate 360 degrees. You do have articulation at the elbow, and the arms can, let me just get all the arm joints back in order. Arm can stretch out, and you get about 90 degrees of bend at the elbow, and it's also on a hinge. You can rotate that side to side. Going down to the legs, the hind legs can move backwards and forwards, and you can also pivot the hind legs to help with stability. Most of the figures in the line have that pivot ability. And then right here, I'm so glad they did this. I really didn't think the figure had this because the electronic one doesn't. It actually has a joint at the knee. And you can see you can stretch out that leg and get some good bend on there. The only thing that kind of hampers that knee joint is you don't have ankle articulation, so you really can't get into any crazy poses unless you had ankle articulation, but it does help with posing and photography, so that joint is appreciated. And then going down to the tail can go up, it could go down, and you can go side to side with the tail. It can also rotate 360 degrees. So the articulation is very reminiscent of the Indoraptor figure that came out years ago on the line. So yeah, quite like all the extra articulation of this figure. Just wish more figures in the line would have articulation like this figure. Moving on to comparisons, here it is with the larger electronic Scorpios Rex. Don't worry, I'll be getting to the review of this figure relatively shortly, and you can see the size difference between them and the color difference. This one is primarily black, this one is mostly green, and like I said, I like this figure a lot better than this one. The action features and electronics are great on here, but because of that, the arms on this one are always stuck in that position unless you're playing around with the button on his back. At least you have the option to pose this figure differently, and that's why this one wins out in my book. And next up, here is another hybrid from the Jurassic World series. Here it is next to the Indominus Rex. And next up, here's the other hybrid in the series, the Indoraptor. And you can see my figure has seen better days. I've said it a few times during my reviews, I am not a fan of the Indoraptor. I just never liked the concept of it in the movies. So I only bought one figure of it, and I used the head for a custom. I actually used it for the cast effect of Margaret Spinus custom. But good news for people that are still looking for the Indoraptor figure. I know it was quite expensive on the secondary market. Looks like it's getting re-released by Mattel. I've been seeing people find them at Target. I haven't seen one in person yet, but a lot of people are finding them. So that's good news for people that want to add the Indoraptor to their collection. I'll probably buy another one because I can use more pots for more customs. But so I guess that's good news all around. Next up, here it is next to the Dinoscape Tyrannosaurus Rex. And lastly, here it is next to the Spinosaurus. So final thoughts on this set. I think this set is a great bargain for that $30 price point. You get a small vehicle, a human figure, and a nicely articulated dinosaur. So that is a bargain in my book. Kenji turned out absolutely fantastic. The Gyrosphere works really well, even though it's not the Gyrosphere a lot of people wanted. And the Scorpios Rex is really winning me over. I just love the extra articulation that they gave this figure. You know, the sculpt work and detail is pretty good. I just wish it had a little bit more quills over its body to complete the look. But other than that, I think it's a really nice looking figure. Like I said at the beginning of the review, you can find this set at Target. It retails for around $30. There's a link in the description to this set if you want to try to order it online. So that will do it for the review. I still have a bunch more Jurassic World stuff to review. I got the electronic one. Still going to do the Explorer set and some other figures. So yeah, a lot of Jurassic World content will be up on the channel in the next couple weeks. So stay tuned for those. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously, and it's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.